it's Andy. We're still talking to Samantha B from Full Frontal with Samantha B on 10:30. Hey, Samantha B is the executive producer of The Detour, which premieres tomorrow on TBS. You know if she's involved, it's got to be great.
It's so funny.
I'm going to check it out. Dan Rather's book is another New York Times bestseller, What Unites Us, Reflections on Patriotism. It's out now. All the way from Norway, it's the Olympic curling team debuting their new uniforms designed by Loudmouth. It's Havard.
Close.
Oh, close. Thomas, Torgard, and Christopher. Very good. So, Dan, so what is this about your boyfriend stealing a car?
Oh, my God. Dan Rather somehow knows that I
Yes.
had a troubled teen years and stole cars with my boyfriend, and we were like criminals, and we wanted to run away like Bonnie and Clyde.
So if you want a woman who knows how to hotwire a car, call her
I
collect.
found,
Wow, nice. Call her
found
collect.
one. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, you need assistance.
Oh, my gosh, that is so funny.
Yeah.
Dan, did you see I, Tonya, by the way?
I have not seen it.
You haven't seen it?
Oh.
Okay.
No, I remember that whole period. I was anchoring the evening news.
I know
during
you
the
were.
whole
Yes.
Tanya
Nancy.
affair.
Yes.
But I have not seen the film.
Allison Janney. So
Oh,
good.
she was
Oh my God.
spectacular.
Oh, sorry.
She was really good. Let's go back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, Andy. My name is Kristen, and I'm calling from Raleigh, North Carolina.
Hi, Kristen. What's your question?
So my question is for Dan. And Dan, I would like to know if you could go back in time and interview someone you didn't have an opportunity to interview, who would it be?
Someone in my lifetime?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to have interviewed President Harry Truman. I've interviewed every man who's been president since Harry Truman. I would like to have interviewed Harry Truman, who guided the country through some of its most difficult time into World War II, dropping the atomic bomb, starting the Cold War with the Russians. I'd love to interview Truman.
Dan, have you ever met or interviewed the Queen?
No.
And you've never met her either?
Yes, I believe I met her. I believe I met her in the spring of 1965.
Wow.
When I was, but it was something called the Queen's Garden Party.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want to pad my part here. Let me say, I said hello. I'm not sure that she even recognized that somebody was saying hello.
Were you out of the? Were you a correspondent in London for CBS?
I was. I was head of the CBS London bureau in 1965 and 66. Although I wasn't there much because I went to cover the Vietnam War. But I was posted there for 2 years.
Wow. Isn't it fun talking to Dan Rather?
Oh, my gosh. Captivated.
Katie P. from Arizona wants to know, Samantha, will there be another Not the White House Correspondents' Dinner this year?
No, there will not be another Not the White House Correspondent. I don't want to do, I mean, we were going to do another special. We'll do other specials.
Right.
But we just want to mix it up and do things differently.
By the way, do we know will there be a Correspondents' Dinner this year? Do we know?
I
Well,
don't
that's an
know
open
anything.
question.
Yeah.
My guess, and I'm only guessing, my guess is there'll be a dinner. Whether President Trump comes to that dinner,
He won't.
that you might be more likely to see the Dalai Lama ride through here on a giraffe.
I'd be very open to hosting if he was there.
Of course,
I have a few
yes.
things I'd like to say.
Back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, Andy. It's Abby from Virginia.
Hey, what's your question?
My question is for both of your guests. I'd like to know, what do they think of the White House changing their voicemail message to blaming the Democrats for the shutdown?
Wow, that I hadn't heard.
Yeah.
Samantha?
So it's classy.
Yeah.
Really a chef's kiss.
Well, I'd echo that, and I think it's particularly classy, the advertisements. If you notice, President Trump and his supporters have been running advertisements about the Democrats, including, in effect, accusing them of murder.
Yes.
Wow.
So classy. I agree.
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very classy.
Dan, who has been your favorite first lady to interact with over the years?
Well, boy, you know, it's always difficult to point to one because first ladies tend to be easy to get along with, even if their husbands are not with journalists.
Did you get along with Barbara Bush?
I did get along with Barbara Bush. I can't say that I knew her well, but the times I got along with her. But in answer to your question, I would say Lady Bird Johnson, perhaps because she was from Texas, but I'd like to think more than that, that she was unfailingly kind and unfailingly smiling. even though she knew you were a reporter on the evening news, had taken the hide off her husband, the president.
Right.
She was every inch a lady. So if I had to pick one, I would pick her. But I will say that everyone that I have met has been very gracious as First Lady.
Back to the phones. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Yeah, my name is Cassandra. I'm calling from Dallas, Texas.
Hi, Cassandra. What's your question?
My question is for Samantha.
Hi.
Did anyone from the White House contact you either before or after, not the White House Correspondents' Dinner?
Oh, no, nobody from the White House would ever contact me. No, I don't have any, I have no access to them. They don't want to talk to me. I don't even think they know who I am, and I like it that way. Let's keep it like that.
Did you read the Michael Wolff book?
Yes, of course.
Did you, Dan?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think?
Well, it was very delectable. I mean, it was it was delectable. It was
Yes.
like a delicious dessert.
Well, my question,
of
and I want to be
gossip.
clear that I didn't really absorb the book, but my question is, how in the world could they let him into the White House? I think this tells you something about the president's judgment of saying, yes, I'm going to take this guy in. Look, whatever you think of him, he had a reputation of being a hell of a reporter and a reporter who was very tough on sources. So who let this guy in?
Right. And
You know,
kept
somebody
letting
said-
him in.
And people ask who let the dogs out. In this case, is who let him in.
Yes. Back to the phones. Last call of the night. Caller, what's your name and from where are you calling?
Hi, this is Michelle from Kansas City.
Hey, Michelle, what's your question?
My question is for the wonderful Dan Rather.
Okay.
Dan, I was wondering, do you think Donald Trump actually wanted to be president, or was his candidacy just about attention?
I'm not sure I understand.
Do you think Donald Trump really wanted to be president or was...
You know, that's a very good question. The answer is, and I don't like to punt, I'm not sure. I think that his previous attempts at making out like he was going to be a candidate for president were obviously to promote condos and golf club memberships. This time around, I'm not sure. I will say this, if it wasn't in the beginning a real effort, fairly quickly on, I think he did seize and see an opportunity and say, you know what, I might really get to be president.
Right.
I do think he was surprised at the election.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I'm wondering your opinion. So much of what's going on in the news and online is about people's outrage over things. And it's mainly about people's outrage over things that people say on Twitter, and then people tweet something and then the apology and it doesn't work.
Sure.
What is your opinion about social media as it drives the news?
Well, you know what? I think social media is it's an amazing tool, and I mean, we all use it. It can be frustrating, it can be horrifying, it can be a big pile-on, but ultimately I do think, I mean, if you kind of step back from all of that, I do think it is at least advancing the conversation. It's given rise to so many different kinds of voices that you previously would not have heard from. So
Yeah.
I actually do think it represents progress in all of its awkwardness and ugliness. And on some level, I think in the greater scheme of things, I think it's very useful and good.
I want to thank Samantha B. from Full Fallon. Samantha B. The apology tour is on now. And Dan Rather, everybody get What Unites Us. It's a New York Times bestseller. Check out the Norwegian curling team at the Olympics. For more, click around BravoTV.com. Good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. Watch more clips here and subscribe to our channel here. See ya.